How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. James Harden's on his way to winning his second straight scoring title, averaging over 36 points a game this season, putting himself in elite company in the likes of Wilt, Jordan, and Kobe. He's as spectacular as anybody to watch, minus his flopping. But other great players in NBA history never won a scoring title. Some even averaged over 30 points a game in their primes, but were overshadowed by better scorers in their eras. Here are 10 of the best scorers in NBA history who never won a scoring title.
Starting with John Havlicek, who had averages of 20.8 points for his career, played all 16 seasons for the Celtics, one of the most underrated all-time greats in NBA history. Houndle was one of the most durable players with insane endurance, an excellent two-way guy, capable of playing both the forward and guard position. He played alongside Bob Cousy during his rookie season, 11-time champ Bill Russell, Sam Jones, K.C. Jones throughout the 60s, was a veteran in the 70s alongside Dave Cowens and JoJo White. Had one of the most forgotten performances in the 1969 finals, overshadowed by Jerry West winning finals MVP in a losing effort, but Havlicek was every bit as good. At the very prime of his career then, averaged 28.3 points the whole series as the best player on the team. In the 1968 Eastern Conference Finals against the Sixers, Havlicek scored 40 points in Game 7 to cap off a 100-96 win. As the team's leader after Russell's retirement, Havlicek averaged 28.9 points in 1971 and 27.5 in 72. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar led the league in scoring those years. Havlicek finished his career scoring 29 points in his final game in 1978, retired with over 26,000 career points, winning 8 titles with the Celtics. Paul Pierce, one of the most forgotten lethal scorers in the mid-2000s because of guys like Kobe, Iverson, and T-Mac. Pierce never came close to winning a scoring title, was also not quite as good a scorer as those guys, but did have 5 seasons of averaging at least 25 points, having his highest average in 05-06, putting up 26.8 points a game. The truth often showed up when it mattered most. Dropped 41 against LeBron's Cavs in Game 7 of the 08 playoffs, was also a very underrated closer, averaged 21.8 points during his 15 seasons with the Celtics. Julius Erving, since he started his professional career with the ABA, Dr. J was a 3-time scoring champion before joining the NBA after the merger in '76 at age 26. That's why he never won a scoring title in the NBA. Was arguably the second best basketball player in the 70s behind Kareem. Has averages of 28.7 points in 407 total games for his ABA career. Averaged 22 a game in 836 NBA games. Patrick Ewing, who will always be cherished amongst Knicks fans. Despite never winning a championship, he gave it his all. Averaged over 20 points the first 13 seasons of his career, got overshadowed by other legends in his era, and just happened to be born within 5 months of both Olajuwon and Michael Jordan, who stood in his way in the playoffs. Had his best scoring season in '90, averaged 28.6 points. Finished third in scoring that season, where MJ averaged 33.6 points. Ewing scored in a multitude of ways, having a smooth mid-range jumper, excellent low post moves, was automatic from 15 feet if he was left open, and had an unstoppable fadeaway jumper where he doesn't get enough credit for. Very mobile for his size at 7 feet, Ewing would absolutely excel in today's game, would occasionally take a 3-point shot where it wasn't emphasized back then, and knocked it down with ease. Would average around 30 points a game in today's NBA given his versatility. Charles Barkley, one of the most intriguing personalities in all of sports media, Sir Charles was arguably a top 3 player in his prime, best known for his all-around game and excellent rebounding. At under 6'5", averaging close to 12 boards for his career, Barkley was also one of the most unstoppable scorers in the late 80s and early 90s, was an automatic double-double machine, put up over 23 a game from 86-87 to 93, can get a rebound, handle the ball with ease, going all the way to the basket with nobody able to stop him, and abuses players half a foot taller than him. Very reliable down the stretch. In the half-court offense, he could fill it up from inside or beat you with an outside jumper. Had his best scoring season in 1988, putting up 28.3 points, finished 4th that year in scoring. Also averaged over 24 a game for 9 straight postseasons. The fact that he beat out Michael Jordan in an MVP race and was arguably robbed of another one in 1990 just shows how good Sir Charles was. Dirk Nowitzki, who's on the verge of completing his 21st season, recently passed Wilt for 6th on the all-time scoring list. The 7-foot power forward has one of the best jumpers we ever seen, averaged 20 plus points for 13 seasons, very durable at the height of his career. Nowitzki was always reliable and consistent, hit plenty of big shots throughout the course of his career, 3rd in NBA history in most regular season games played. Dirk was never quite a crazy scorer, had his best scoring season in 2006, putting up 26.6 points a game, but always showed up year after year, having career playoff averages of 25.3 points in 145 total games, put up 27.7 points in the 2011 postseason, leading his Mavs to the title, had his best series in the conference finals against OKC, putting up 32.2 points. Hakeem Olajuwon. The two big men who won a scoring title in the 90s were David Robinson in 94 and Shaquille O'Neal in 95. The Dream finished second in Dirk those years. Regarded as the most skilled center the game has ever seen, the Dream Shake was absolutely unguardable and unstoppable, made an immediate impact coming into the league as a 20 and 12 guy, averaged more than 20 points for his first 13 seasons, was at the peak of his powers during the back-to-back title years, averaged 27.3 points in 93-94, elevated his game in the postseason, averaged 28.9 points as the lone all-star for his team that season, went on to have one of the most improbable playoff runs, having one of the best performances the game has ever seen in 1995, displaying all his bag of tricks, came back down 2-1 against Utah in the first round. The Dream was by far the best player that series, averaged 35 a game, went on to embarrass the MVP David Robinson, abusing him with the post moves, leaving the Admiral stunned and speechless, averaged an incredible 35.3 points compared to Robinson's 23.8 points, outscoring him by 11.5 points, was just as dominant in the finals, putting up 32.8 points in the 4-game sweep over the Magic, capping off his 33-point average during the 22-game span. Compared to his 21.8 point average in the regular season, the Dream was another animal in the playoffs when it mattered most, increasing his points per game average to 25.9. Larry Bird, who will always be regarded as one of the best all-around players the game has ever seen, Larry Legend left everything on the line, played every game like it was his last, averaged over 20 points a game in 11 of his 13 seasons, putting up as much as 29.9 points, only behind Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan that year, had one of the best primes of anybody the game has ever seen. That's why he easily won 3 straight MVPs, had his 60-point game just 9 days after Kevin McHale dropped 56, breaking a Celtics franchise record, was so good the opposing players even started cheering for him. In Valentine's Day of '86, Bird decided to give his shooting hand a rest, so he played with his left hand the whole game, dropped 47 on the Blazers, finished with career averages of 24.3 points. Because of his all-around game, Larry could have easily scored more points if he wanted, but was a complete player, making all the winning plays, a true champion. Karl Malone, just a reason why he's second all-time on the scoring list, averaged 20 plus for 17 of his 19 seasons, had 8 total seasons of averaging 27 points or more, was a master scoring in the pick and roll, whether it's rolling to the basket or pulling up from mid-range. Year after year, Malone always showed up and went to work, played 82 games for 10 total seasons, was extremely physical and built like a rock. Malone came in second on the scoring list for 4 consecutive seasons between 89 and 92, of course all behind the great Michael Jordan, scored by far the most points in the 90s era. Although he never won a championship, Malone is easily the best scoring power forward all time, and his body of work and accomplishments will never be forgotten. Elgin Baylor, who's third all-time on the points per game list behind only MJ and Wilt. Having an astonishing average of 27.4 points for his career, Baylor had one of the most amazing stretches from 1961 to 63, putting up 34.8 points a game to an insane 38.3 points, followed by an average of 34 points, but shockingly never won a scoring title, and didn't even come close. In case you're wondering why, Wilt Chamberlain played in the same era, put up averages of 38.4 points, 50.4 points, and 44.8 points, which is just out of this planet. It's still pretty crazy to say the guy with the 3rd highest points per game average in NBA history never won a single scoring title. I didn't include any current players on this list like Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard, who both still have a very long career ahead of them. Lillard will likely end up as one of the most underappreciated players this era, having 4 straight seasons of averaging over 25 a game, and AD, who's averaged over 24 a game for 5 straight seasons. Both might never win a scoring title, but still too early to call.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.